A founder sits down at the end of the day. They have answered dozens of messages. They've approved multiple decisions, and they've also been involved in a lot of meetings and all these other activities that come with their day to day. They've been busy all day, yet the most important part or the activities of the business were not done. Here I'm talking about the strategic work, the leadership work. I'm talking about the work that is involved in growing and propelling that business forward. Now, the question then could be, what if the thing that is stopping your business from growing or from scaling is not really the market? Maybe it's not the team. It's not all these other things that you are focusing on. Maybe the reason why your business is not growing could be a lot of dependence on the founder. So in this video, we're going to talk about a dependence on the founder as one of the reasons why your business is not scaling the way it should be scaling. Welcome once again. This is Piri Consulting, where we help entrepreneurs like you build a scalable, profitable, as well as fundable businesses. If you're new here or you've been watching and still have not taken that decision to become a subscriber, please do subscribe to the channel. Your efforts and your support are greatly appreciated. Thank you so much to all our returning viewers. Now, the truth of the matter is this: most founders don't create bottlenecks intentionally. Okay, the intention usually is always to try and help the business to grow. So the founder gets him or herself involved in a lot of things. Probably the founder is thinking, my actions will help maybe the quality of the product or the quality of the service. So they insert themselves and become part of the process. It could be all these other things where the founder thinks that the organization or the team that is there needs his or her help to push the business forward. So in this, there is no intention really to sort of slow things down and create that dependence on themselves. What they're trying to do is to offer a help to their organization. Remember, this is something that is their brainchild, is the idea, and they seriously want to see it succeed. So then the intention is to help, not necessarily to bring it down. But now the problem then that arises is that helpfulness leads to dependence. And in most cases, dependence on the founder scales much faster than anything else. Then that is when you start seeing all these other bottlenecks emerging. And this is what we're going to be talking about in detail as we move along in this video. This is how the dependence begins. The founder maybe is involved in answering questions. He is inserting himself in helping solve a client's problem, okay, or he helps in making a decision. The founder helps in pushing the product to the next step, and so forth and so forth. So you will see that everything becomes founder-centered. Founder makes the decision. Founder decides on what should be done, or founder approves on what should take place, and so forth and so forth. So you see founder becomes the center of things there. So that then, what is happening is that the founder is basically teaching the team or the subordinates on what to do. And when they see this, what it will cause is that it will make them always look to him if there's something that needs to be done, if there's a decision that needs to be made, if there is a new step that needs to be taken, or something else where there is uncertainty. The founder becomes the certainty that everyone else depends on. So because of that, then you're creating a serious bottleneck there, which means that people will not make their own decisions because they are learning from the founder. And what they are learning is this: we cannot do anything on our own. Everything else that seems important, anything else that involves a decision, that involves a new step, must be taken to him. Because of that, then you have created a serious bottleneck there. But now there is a consequence to this. There is a cost. The cost could be hidden, the cost could be apparent, depending on your organization and depending on what KPIs you're using. But some things begin to emerge. The first thing that begin to emerge are slower decisions. Decisions are slow because we need to wait for the founder to make the decision. Okay, you find that things that relate to service, to customer service delivery, also slows down and so forth. So we are getting into a situation whereby smaller and smaller things begin to compound. And as they compound, they are slowing the pace at which things might happen. Now, it is this a change in speed in delivery, change in speed in decision making, change in speed in a lot of things that causes the business to slowly start creeping instead of moving faster. Remember, growth in most cases will also involve a little bit of pace in it, especially now with AI and automations. You hear more and more often that speed in operation, speed in application, speed in implementation is what is helping a lot of organizations and especially SMEs to have that competitive advantage and compete much better than their the bigger counterparts. So team confidence then is reduced. Projects take longer, and so forth. The capacity it slows down and it lowers, and we are seriously in deep problems when these things begin to happen. But the problem then is that the founder in these circumstances does not see the problem. Usually, the founder thinks that the activity that he or she is involved in is helping the organization move faster. But the truth of the matter here and the reality is that the organization in this case can only be as fast as the founder. So you have reduced the speed of application of activity to the pace of the founder. This cannot be tolerated if you are really intent on scaling your business. So now this is why founders are becoming stuck or are becoming part of the problem. Now they are spending a lot of time on the maintenance of the business instead of improving the business. So you find that now you're supposed to be putting out fires. You are trying to fix that thing that is broken here and that thing that is broken there. Now, the question then remains, when is the strategic work going to be done? When will the entrepreneur or the founder sit down and do some strategic thinking and think forward to a 6 months, to a year, to 2 to 3 years ahead? When will that happen if the founder is engrossed in the day-to-day, in what is happening now, in trying to fix a broken pipe here, in trying to plug that leakage here and so forth? So the founder is getting involved in the wrong activities. The entrepreneur or the manager himself is involved in the wrong activities. And these are sort of activities that are more on the maintenance side of the business instead of growing that particular business. So now we arrive at a point whereby now the founder sits down and then he's thinking, but my team should be knowing this by now. But the question that they should be asking themselves is this, or that they should be answering is this: have we created enough clarity for the people to know this? So which means there have to be discussions, whether it's in a strategic meeting or whatever it might be. There has to be discussions in terms of roles. What roles are teams playing, or what individual roles are people playing? Not only to focus on the role of the founder, but the roles of other players within. In terms of decision making, what are the decision boundaries? Where do we make decisions? From which point to which point? As a founder, in which decisions are you involved? Are you involved in operational decisions, in marketing decisions? Or are you involved in bigger strategic decisions? So you need to make a choice as far as looking at boundaries in decision making. Where do you start and where do you end? And for those other things where you're not involved, then you can delegate certain key people to make decisions, especially when you are not around or especially when you are busy doing other things. You must have people making decisions in certain areas and be confident that the people that you have put in those areas will make the right decisions that will propel that particular business forward. Other decisions, they have to be on ownership. Who owns what asset? Who is responsible for particular activities or sections or departments in that particular organization? Now, this is key because it will also answer the accountability question. Now, if there is ownership of activities, if there is ownership of tasks, then there's going to be accountability. Accountability in all cases will always improve performance. Now, where there is accountability, we know who was responsible for doing what and for doing it where. Then we can go back and simply measure and look at whether key tasks or certain activities are being done when they're supposed to be done, in the way that they're supposed to be done, and by the person who's supposed to be doing this. So accountability is key here. And all of these things can also add up and even improve questions that relate to visibility of the business and so forth. So it is very important that discussions along these lines should be made, and in all those other areas that will sort of take away responsibility from the founder and spread out the load of work that needs to be done by other people, and also reduce the activity of the owner on a day-to-day basis. What you are trying to arrive at here is you are trying to arrive at a point where the founder is less on the maintenance side and more on the strategic work of building that particular business. So the key then is that you need to know that confusion will always develop into dependence, but clarity will create ownership. And this is what you want. You want people to own up in whatever they're supposed to be doing in your business. The goal is not for the founder to become less relevant, all right, or to become less involved. What you want is you want a goal where the founder is becoming less required. In most cases, a business that cannot operate when the founder is away cannot scale. You are trying to build a business that becomes autonomous, right? So you want a business to grow in the absence of the founder. This suggests that you've put systems in place that continue to operate even when the founder is not there. The idea of the business only working when you are there as a founder, it means that you cannot grow the business because there is only a limited number of things that you can do as a founder within the time space that is given for you to work. Obviously, fatigue will kick in and all these other things. So you cannot really scale the business primarily on your efforts as the founder. You need systems to back that up. And where these systems are, growth will always take place. If growth takes place in the background, it means that there is better decision making. And there are all these other things that are good for the health of the organization, and that causes your business to grow and propel moving forward. Capacity is increasing. Your people are developing in decision making, in reacting, or in being proactive as far as anticipating things before they happen, or reacting to things after they've happened, because they are exposed to the day-to-day running of that particular business. Which means now, instead of all things depending on you, everyone else shares in responsibility, because now there's ownership, and where there's ownership, like I said, there is also accountability. If every decision, approval, or client issue still depend on you as a founder, then it means that there are still some bottlenecks in your business. And if you want to find out exactly what these bottlenecks are and be on your way to solve whatever growth issues your business is experiencing today, please check out the SME. By the way, it's free, the SME Revenue Lead Calculator. You'll find the link in the description, and take it. It's for free. Find out exactly where you could be missing it, where there are bottlenecks, where your growth is stuck so that you can begin the work of fixing the growth issues that you have and be on your merry way to scale your business. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you are facing those problems, please feel free also to leave a comment, and then or any other question that you might have regarding growth, and then we'll attend it to you. I promise to personally respond to each and every one of your questions. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe, because we'll be sending you these coming weeks and months serious growth related content to help you scale your business. Also share the video with other entrepreneur friends. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Kenneth, and this is Piri Consulting. Bye.